You're awake. Good. Don't move too fast. Your head is going to pound if you sit up like that. Just lean back against the pillows. Let the room stop spinning. I know the light from the city is blinding right now. I kept all the lamps off. I wanted to give your eyes a chance to adjust. You're looking around like you don't recognize this room. You shouldn't. This isn't our house. This isn't our bedroom. You're safe here, but it's not home. Look at your feet. You're barefoot. Your shoes are gone. Your work clothes, the skirt you put on this morning, it's torn at the hem. There's dirt on the fabric. You feel heavy. I know you do. Like you're trying to move underwater. Your throat is probably dry. Your chest feels tight. You're trying to piece it together. I can see the confusion in your eyes. You're trying to remember how you got from the gallery to this bed. Don't force it. Don't try to rip the memories out of the dark. If it's blank, let it be blank for a minute. Just focus on breathing. In and out. You're okay. I've got you. No one is going to hurt you here. Just keep looking in this direction. Look at the chair in the corner of the room. Let your eyes adjust to the shadows. I need you to stay with me. Don't close your eyes again. Please. Because we need to talk about what happened tonight. You finally see me, don't you? I've been sitting in this chair for 3 hours, just watching your chest rise and fall, waiting for the exact moment those eyes opened. Don't scream. Please. I know what I look like. I know I look like a monster sitting in the dark. But it's just me. Yes, I took my shirt off. It was ruined anyway. And yes, this is blood on my chest, on my arms, on my face. But it isn't mine. I promise you, not a single drop of this is mine. And it definitely isn't yours. Look at my hands. Look at my knuckles. They're split open. The skin is destroyed. I'm trying to hold them perfectly still so I don't scare you, so you don't see how badly I'm shaking right now. I'm trying to be calm for you. I'm trying to be the man you married, the man who keeps his business out of his home, the man who protects you from this side of the city. But that man died tonight. He died the second I realized you were gone. So this is what's left. This is the man sitting in the dark across from you. I need you to breathe. I need you to realize that the blood on my skin is a guarantee that whoever put you in that torn skirt, whoever made you lose your shoes, they can't ever hurt you again. Do you understand me? You're safe. Even if I look like the devil right now. My name. You just whispered my name. God. Hearing you say it. Hearing your voice in this room after the last 6 hours. It feels like my chest is going to cave in. I'm not moving. I'm gripping the armrests of this chair so hard, the wood is splintering under my fingers. Because if I stand up right now, if I walk over to that bed and touch you, I'm going to break down. And you don't need to see that. You need me to be a pillar of concrete right now. You need me to be cold and calculated. So I'm going to sit right here, and I'm going to keep my voice flat. You're awake. Good. That's the most important thing. You're awake, and your pulse is steady. The doctor said it would take a few hours for the sedative to wear off. He said you would be disoriented. But you know who I'm. You know my name. That means the cognitive function is intact. That means they didn't cause permanent damage. I was so afraid they broke you. I was so terrified that when you finally opened your eyes, you wouldn't recognize me. Or worse, that you would look at me and only see the reason this happened to you. But you just said my name. Like a lifeline. Like I'm the one who saves you, not the one who put a target on your back. I don't deserve the way you look at me right now, but I'll take it. I'll take every piece of you that's still whole. Where are we? I told you, it's a safe place. It's a secondary property I own under a shell corporation. A penthouse on the edge of the financial district. No one knows about it. Not my lieutenants, not my rivals, not even my accountants. It's off the grid. A ghost apartment. I brought you here because I don't trust our house right now. I don't trust our security. I don't trust anyone in this entire city except for the two of us in this room. So this is where we stay until the dust settles. What's wrong? Your breathing just hitched. Why are you looking at your arm? Don't touch it. Let your hand drop. I know you see it. The burn mark on your wrist. Right over your pulse point. It's red. It's blistered. And I know it hurts. You're panicking because you don't remember how you got it. You're staring at it like it belongs to someone else's body. Like a brand. Your chest is rising too fast. Look at me. Get your eyes off your wrist and look at my face. Right now. I'm not going to lie to you. You didn't do that to yourself. It didn't happen by accident. Someone put a cigarette out on your skin while you were unconscious. They did it on purpose. They did it to send a message. But I need you to understand something. The man who held that cigarette, he doesn't have hands anymore. He doesn't have a pulse anymore. He paid for that mark on your skin with every drop of blood in his body. So don't panic. The threat is over. You want to know what happened. You want me to walk you through the nightmare. Okay. If that's what you need. I'm standing up, slowly. I'm stepping out of the shadows and walking toward the edge of the bed. I know the closer I get in this lighting, The worse I look. You can see the blood smeared across my collarbone. You can see how violently my hands are shaking. I can't stop it. The adrenaline is still flooding my system. The rage is still boiling right under my skin. I'm stopping right here, at the foot of the mattress. I'm not going to touch you yet. I don't want to get this on you. You want to know what happened tonight. You want me to fill in the blank spaces in your memory. The problem is, I don't have all the pieces either. I only know what I found. I only know the carnage I had to carve through to get you back. So we're going to have to do this together. We're going to have to reconstruct the timeline. I need you to close your eyes for a second. Block out this room. Block out the blood on my chest. Just go back into your head. Think about yesterday evening. Think about the gallery. What's the very last thing you remember before the dark took over? Before you woke up in this bed with a torn skirt and a burn on your wrist? Tell me exactly what you see. Don't leave a single detail out, because I need to know exactly who else I have to kill. 9 p.m. That's the last thing you remember. Closing up the gallery at 9. Locking the front doors. Turning off the display lights. Okay. And then everything just goes dark. Just a complete blank until you woke up in this bed. I believe you. I know you're telling the truth. Because that lines up perfectly with what the doctor found in your blood. A military-grade sedative. The kind that wipes short-term memory while it suppresses your motor functions. But here's the problem. Here's the gap we need to fill. You said you blacked out around 9. But look at what I'm holding. I just pulled this out of my pocket. It's a phone. The screen is cracked down the middle. There's dried blood on the casing. It's not your phone. It belongs to a complete stranger. But at 11:47 p.m., exactly 2 hours and 47 minutes after you say you blacked out, my private number rang. And it was coming from this phone. I picked it up. I always pick it up. And I heard your voice on the other end of the line. You called me. Somehow, in the middle of whatever they were doing to you, you managed to get your hands on a stranger's phone and dial my number from memory. You don't remember doing it. I can tell by the way you're staring at the cracked screen. You have no memory of making that call. Do you? But you did. You reached out to me from the dark. You want to hear it. You want me to play the voicemail. Are you sure? I don't think that's a good idea. It's not going to bring your memory back. It's just going to terrify you. It terrified me. And I've heard men beg for their lives. Please, don't make me play it. I don't want to hear it again. Fine. If you need to hear it to believe it's real, I'm unlocking the phone. I'm opening the saved messages. Listen closely. There. That's your voice. It's slurred. It's barely a whisper. You're saying, "Help me. Please. And then there's a loud crash in the background, and the line goes dead. 3 words. That's all I got. That's all I had to go on. Hey, don't cry. I'm turning it off. I'm putting the phone away. Please don't cry. I can't handle it when you cry right now. I know it's terrifying to hear your own voice like that and not remember it. To hear the sheer panic in your own throat. But you have to focus on the fact that you survived. You fought through the sedative enough to make that call. You were so brave. Even when your mind was slipping away, you knew exactly what to do. You knew to call me. Because you knew I would tear the world apart to find you. And I did. I just wish I had found you before they hurt you. Before you had to leave me a voicemail that's going to haunt me for the rest of my life. I can't stay on this side of the room anymore. I can't watch you cry from all the way over here. I'm walking over to the bed. I'm sitting on the edge of the mattress. I'm going to keep my distance. I'm not going to touch you. I don't want to get any of this blood on the clean sheets. Or on you. But I need to be closer. I just need to feel the heat radiating off your skin. To prove to myself that you're sitting up. That you're breathing. Why did you gasp? What are you looking at? My hand. You're staring at my left hand. Yes. My wedding ring is gone. And my ring finger, it's swollen. The knuckle is bruised and purple. It looks like it's broken. Because it's broken. But we aren't talking about my hand right now. My hand doesn't matter. What matters is that I need to tell you the rest of the story. And you need to stay calm while I do it. I need you to promise me that you won't panic when I tell you what I found. Because the worst part is over. You're safe now. The monsters are gone. But you need to understand exactly what kind of danger you were in. You need to know how close I came to losing you. I'm going to tell you exactly how I found you. And then I'm going to tell you what I did to the people who took you away from me. When the line went dead, after you said, "Help me," I didn't panic. I didn't have time to panic. I immediately routed the ping from the cell tower to my security team. I tracked your actual phone's GPS signal. It was moving toward the warehouse district by the docks, an abandoned industrial sector. I didn't even wait for my men. I grabbed my keys and drove there myself. I was breaking every traffic law in the city. My chest felt like it was splitting open. I got to the warehouse in exactly 14 minutes. I kicked the rusted door off its hinges. I was ready to empty every clip I brought with me. I was ready to turn the place into a slaughterhouse. But when I got inside, it was empty. There was no one there. Just dust and concrete. And your phone. Sitting on the floor. They ditched it. They realized they were being tracked, and they threw your phone out the window of a moving car near the docks to throw me off the scent. When I saw your phone sitting there in the dirt, when I realized you weren't in that warehouse, that's when I finally panicked. That's when the cold calculation finally shattered. I dropped to my knees in that empty building and I realized I had no idea where you were. I had no leverage, no trail to follow. You were just gone. And my entire empire couldn't do a damn thing to bring you back. How did I find you? If the trail went cold, how did I get you back? I did the only thing I could do. I became the monster everyone already thinks I'm. I got back in my car, and I started making calls. I burned through every single criminal contact I've ever made in this city. Every favor I was owed. Every threat I've ever held over someone's head. I unleashed it all. I called the heads of the 4 rival families, men I've spent a decade avoiding. I told them if they didn't put every man on their payroll out on the streets looking for a black van, I would systematically dismantle their operations piece by piece. I didn't care about the consequences. I didn't care about starting a turf war. I didn't care about my business, my reputation. I was willing to burn the entire underworld to ash just to find the van that took you. And it took 4 hours. 4 excruciating hours of silence, of tearing the city apart block by block, of putting a gun to the head of anyone who wouldn't give me answers, until finally, one of my informants called. They found a black van matching the description, parked outside a gallery storage unit in the East End. I didn't wait for backup. I didn't formulate a plan. I just drove, because I knew I was running out of time. And I knew exactly what I was going to do when I found the men who took you. Who took you? You want a name. You want me to tell you the name of the men who dragged you out of the gallery. I don't know their names. I didn't bother to ask before I ended them. They were just muscle. Hired hands. They aren't the ones you should be worried about. The real question isn't who pulled you into that van. The real question is, who unlocked the back door of the gallery to let them in? You're shaking your head. I know it's hard to hear, but it's the truth. You were betrayed. The men who took you didn't break in. There was no forced entry. The security system was disabled from the inside using an employee passcode. You're looking at me like I'm crazy. Like you can't believe what I'm saying. I'm not going to say her name out loud. I refuse to speak her name in the same room as you. But you know who I'm talking about. Someone you trusted. Someone you eat lunch with every single day. Someone who stood next to you at our wedding and smiled at the cameras. Yes, her. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I can see the exact moment it clicks in your head. The exact moment your heart breaks. She sold you out. She traded your life for $50,000 in a duffel bag. I know it hurts to hear that. I know it breaks your heart. That's all it took for her to hand you over to the monsters. I know you want to defend her. I know you want to tell me there's been a mistake. But there isn't. I traced the wire transfer myself. I have to tell you exactly how they did it, because you need to know how long you were vulnerable. The doctor analyzed the sedative in your blood. It takes about 60 minutes to fully metabolize and cause a blackout, which means you weren't drugged at 9 p.m. when they took you. You were drugged at 8. Think back to 8 p.m. What happened? She brought you a coffee from the cafe across the street, didn't she? She handed it to you right before she clocked out and left you alone for the final hour of your shift. She handed you poison and smiled at you. And then she walked out the front door. And you sat there alone in that gallery for an entire hour while the sedative slowly worked its way through your system, while your motor functions started failing, while your vision blurred. You probably thought you were just tired, just exhausted from a long day. And then, at 9 p.m., she disabled the security alarm remotely using her app. And she unlocked the back-loading dock doors. She let them walk right in while you were practically paralyzed. She served you up on a silver platter. She looked you in the eye while she did it, and she didn't even hesitate. And the worst part is, she knew exactly what they were going to do with you. You're crying harder now. I know it hurts. Being betrayed by someone you consider a friend is a different kind of violence. It leaves a scar that doesn't ever heal. But I need you to understand why she did it, why they targeted you. Because this wasn't random. It wasn't a crime of opportunity. They didn't just want a hostage. They wanted you. Specifically you. I tried so hard to keep my world separate from yours. I tried so hard to keep you insulated from the filth I deal with every day. But someone found out. One of my rivals figured out that the cold, untouchable boss has a weakness. They figured out that I've a wife who I would burn the world for. They hired those men to grab you, to use you as leverage against me, to force me to hand over the shipping lanes on the south side. They thought if they had you, they had me by the throat. They thought I would negotiate. They thought I would play their game and make a deal for your safe return. They fundamentally misunderstood who they were dealing with. I don't negotiate with terrorists. And I certainly don't negotiate with men who put their hands on my wife. I just erase them. But that doesn't change the fact that this is my fault. You were bait. I should have seen this coming. I should have known they would try to get to you. And I'm the reason they cast the line. Stop touching your wrist. Please. I see you running your fingers over the blistered skin. I see you staring at that burn mark. It's making the rage come back. It's making the blood pound in my ears so loud I can barely hear my own voice. I know it hurts. I know it stings every time the air hits it. When I finally kicked the door down at that storage unit, when I finally found you lying on a concrete floor in the dark, that burn was the very first thing I saw. They did that to you while you were unconscious, while you were defenseless. They took a lit cigarette and pressed it into your skin. They took a picture of it. They were going to send it to me to prove they had you, to prove they were willing to hurt you if I didn't comply. But I got there before they could hit send. I got there right after he pulled the cigarette away. The man who burned you, he's the reason my knuckles look like this. He's the reason my hands are ruined. I didn't use my gun on him. I wanted him to feel every single second of it. I wanted him to know exactly why his life was ending. I'm not sorry for what I did to him. I'm only sorry that I didn't get there 5 minutes sooner. I'm going to make sure no one ever touches you again. I swear it. Before he put that mark on your beautiful skin. Why are you shaking so hard? Your whole body is. Look at me. Look directly into my eyes right now. I know what you're thinking. I know the horrifying question that's running through your mind right now. You're wondering what else they did to you while you were unconscious. You're wondering if that burn is the only thing they took. No. No. I need you to listen to me very carefully. I got there in time. I got there in time. I swear to God. They barely had you in that storage unit for 20 minutes before I tore the doors off. They didn't touch you. They didn't take anything else from you. I wouldn't lie to you about something like this. The doctor did a full examination while you were asleep. He confirmed it. You're physically unharmed except for the sedative and the burn on your wrist. I promise you. I got there in time. I kept saying it over and over again in the car while I was driving you here. I got there in time. It's the only thing keeping me from losing my mind. If I had been 5 minutes later, if I had taken a wrong turn, I can't even let myself think about it. If I think about it, I'm going to rip this entire city down to the bedrock. You're safe. They didn't hurt you. You have to believe me. I would never lie to you about something like this. I got there in time. What did I do to them? You're asking me what I did to the men in that warehouse. I don't think you want to know the answer to that question. I don't think you're ready to hear the details of what I'm capable of when someone touches you. You know I'm not a good man. You've always known what I do for a living, but you've never had to see it. You've never had to look at the blood on my hands and know exactly whose it's. I want to keep it that way. I want to keep you as far away from the violence as possible. But you're looking at me right now like you need to know. Like you need to be sure they can't come back. I did what I needed to do. That's the only answer I can give you. I made sure they understood exactly whose wife they put their hands on. And then I made sure they would never draw another breath on this earth. It wasn't quick, and it wasn't clean. I didn't outsource it to my lieutenants. I didn't have someone else pull the trigger. I handled it myself. because it was personal. Because when I saw that cigarette burn on your wrist, the last shred of my humanity just evaporated. I turned that warehouse into a graveyard. I don't regret what I did to them. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. And I didn't lose a single second of sleep over it.
Stop staring at my hand.
It looks worse than it is. I told you earlier, my ring finger is swollen. The knuckle is destroyed. You're asking how it happened. If they hit me. No. They didn't get a single hit in. I did this to myself. I broke my own finger. When I walked into that room and saw what they were doing to you, I knew a gun wasn't going to be enough. I needed my hands. I needed to feel their bones snapping under my fists. But I was wearing my wedding ring, the platinum band you put on my finger 2 years ago, and I refused to let their blood touch it. I refused to let something so pure and perfect be tainted by the filth I was about to unleash. So I tried to pull it off, but my hands were already swelling from the adrenaline. The ring was stuck. It wouldn't slide past the knuckle, and I didn't have time to be gentle. Every second they were breathing the same air as you was a second too long. So I gripped the ring, and I just pulled as hard as I could. I dislocated the joint and broke the bone just to get the ring off fast enough. It didn't even hurt. I didn't even feel it. I just threw the ring onto a clean table in the corner, and then I went to work. I didn't put it back on until they were dealt with.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Your eyes are welling up again. You're horrified. I know you're looking at a man who broke his own hand just so he could beat 3 people to death. It's terrifying. But it's more than that, isn't it? I can read your face. I know exactly what that expression means. You feel guilty. You're sitting there blaming yourself for what I did. You think you pushed me into the dark. Don't. Don't you dare feel guilty for what I chose to do. You didn't ask me to be a monster. You didn't ask me to turn that warehouse into a slaughterhouse. I made that choice. I'm the one who carries that violence inside me. You didn't drag me down to their level. You're the only reason I ever tried to be better in the first place. You're the only light in my entire life. And when they tried to put that light out, I reverted back to exactly what I was before I met you. You have nothing to feel guilty for. You were the victim tonight. You were drugged and dragged out of your own gallery because of who you're married to, because of my enemies. If anyone should be suffocating on guilt right now, it's me. Because I couldn't protect you from the life I built. So please, stop looking at me like it's your fault. You have to stop carrying my guilt for me. It's mine to carry, not yours. I can't take it.
I have something that belongs to you.
I've been keeping them next to my chair in the dark this whole time. I'm leaning down. I'm picking them up. Here. Your shoes. I know they're ruined. The leather is scuffed and the heels are muddy. You're looking at them like you don't understand. Let me explain. I didn't find these in the warehouse, and I didn't find them at the gallery. I found them in an alleyway, 3 blocks away from where they were holding you. 3 blocks. Do you realize what that means? It means you didn't just let them take you. Even with that massive dose of sedative in your bloodstream, even when you could barely keep your eyes open, you fought back. You kicked your shoes off so you could run faster. You made it 3 entire blocks before they caught up to you. And you managed to borrow that stranger's phone to call me before they dragged you into the van. You're so incredibly strong. You survived because you refused to give up. I was so terrified that you would wake up and feel broken by what they did to you, that you would feel helpless. But you aren't helpless. You fought them off for as long as your body physically could. You bought me the time I needed to find you. I'm in absolute awe of you right now. You survived the worst night of your life. I am so proud of you. You have no idea how incredibly brave you are, and you did it on your own. Okay. That's it. I can't stay on this side of the bed anymore. I can't watch you break down like this without holding you. I don't care if I get blood on the sheets. I don't care if I get it on you. I'm moving in. I'm wrapping my arms around you. Just collapse against my chest. Let it all out. I've got you. I've got you tight. I can feel you shaking against my ribs. I can feel your tears soaking into my skin where my shirt used to be. It's okay. You're allowed to fall apart now. The danger is gone. You don't have to be brave anymore. I'm burying my face in your hair, just breathing in the scent of your shampoo underneath the smell of the warehouse. You're alive. You're here in my arms. I'm so sorry. I'm so incredibly sorry that I brought this violence into your life. I promised to protect you when we got married. I promised that my world would never bleed into yours. And I failed you. I let them get close enough to touch you. I'll never forgive myself for that. Even if you forgive me, I'll carry the guilt of this night until they put me in the ground. Just hold on to me. Grip my shoulders as hard as you need to. I'm not letting you go. Just let me hold you. Just stay right here in my arms until you feel safe again. I'm never letting you out of my sight again. You can cry as long as you need to. I'm not moving. I'm just going to keep rubbing my hand up and down your back until you stop shaking. You're safe. I promise. There's one more thing I need to tell you. One piece of good news in all of this. The stranger's phone. The one you used to call me. I told you they threw it out the window to throw me off the scent. But they didn't kill the man it belonged to. He was a night shift worker at the docks. He was walking to his car when he saw you stumble out of the back of the van while they were distracted. He said you grabbed his arm and begged for his phone, and he gave it to you. He saw them grab you and pull you back inside. He was the one who told me what the van looked like when I finally found him hiding in the alley. He could have run away. He could have kept walking and minded his own business. But he didn't. He stopped and handed a terrified woman his phone. I want you to know that I've already taken care of him. My men are moving him and his family out of the city as we speak. I bought them a house out of state. I paid off his mortgage and set up a trust for his kids. He saved your life. He bought me the time I needed to find you. And I take care of the people who take care of you. Why are you shaking your head again? You're pulling back from me. What's it? Look at me. You still don't believe it. Do you? You think this is a nightmare. You think you're going to wake up in our bed and none of this will be real. I wish that were true. I would give everything I own for this to just be a nightmare. But it isn't. It's real. You're still looking at me with that complete disbelief in your eyes. Like you can't process that someone you worked with would do this to you. I know it goes against everything you believe about people. You look for the good in everyone. But you're married to a man who knows exactly how dark the world is. And I need you to understand that the dark got inside your gallery tonight. You're not going to believe me unless you see it for yourself. Are you? Your brain is trying to protect you by rejecting the reality of what happened. But you need to see it. You need to know who your enemies are so you never trust them again. I'm reaching for the laptop on the nightstand. I'm opening it up. I have the security feeds from the gallery patched directly into my encrypted server. I pulled the footage while you were asleep. I'm going to show it to you, but you have to promise me you're going to keep breathing. I know you don't want to believe it, but you can't hide from the truth anymore. It's going to be hard to watch.
Look at the screen.
This is the front lobby camera at exactly 9 p.m. See? There you're walking to the front doors. You're turning the deadbolt. You look so tired. You're leaning against the glass for a second, like you can barely keep your eyes open. You think it's exhaustion, but it's the sedative hitting your bloodstream. Now look at the back loading dock camera. Watch the door. There she is. Your coworker. She's using her key card to unlock the employee entrance from the outside. And there are the men. 3 of them. She's holding the door open for them. She's pointing toward the front lobby where you're. She isn't being coerced. She isn't being threatened. She just lets them in and walks away. Now look back at the lobby camera. Don't look away. You need to see this. You're turning around. You see them coming toward you. You try to run toward the alarm button behind the desk, but your legs give out. The drug is fully active now. You collapse against the counter. and then they grab you. They pick you up off the floor and drag you toward the back. You're trying to fight them. You're kicking your legs. That's when you lose your first shoe. Right there by the reception desk. Okay. I'm pausing it. I'm shutting the laptop. You don't need to see the rest. You've seen enough to know that I'm telling the truth. It's real. Every terrifying second of it happened to you.
Breathe. Just breathe. You're hyperventilating. Your chest is rising and falling way too fast. Look at me. Focus on my eyes. I'm slamming the laptop shut and pushing it off the bed. It's gone. You don't have to look at it anymore. You don't have to look at them putting their hands on you ever again. I'm pulling you back into my chest. I'm holding you so tight I'm probably bruising your ribs. But I don't care. I need to feel you against me. I need to know you're here, and they didn't take you away from me permanently. I'll never let anyone get that close to you again. Do you understand me? I don't care if I have to put a security detail on you 24 hours a day. I don't care if I have to buy the gallery and run it myself. I don't care if you hate me for being overprotective. I'm never going through this again. I'm never feeling that absolute crushing terror of finding your phone in an empty warehouse. I'll burn this entire city down to the foundation before I let someone touch you. I'll turn the sky black with smoke. I'll eradicate every single person who even looks at you wrong. You're mine, and I protect what's mine with extreme prejudice. Just let me hold you. Let the reality of it wash over you. It's over. I'm going to tear the world apart for you. I'm never going to let you down again. The nightmare is over. What did you just ask me? Your voice is so quiet I can barely hear you. You're asking about her, your coworker. You're asking where she is right now. I told you I don't want to talk about her. I don't want her name in this room. But you need closure. You need to know that the threat is neutralized. She sold you for $50,000. She traded your life so she could pay off her debts. I found her at the airport. She was trying to board a flight to Europe with a duffel bag full of cash. She thought she was smart. She thought she could outrun me. She didn't make it to the gate. You're asking what I did to her. You're looking up at me with those wide, terrified eyes. I want you to look out the window. Look at the sky. The sun is coming up over the skyline. The dawn is breaking. It's a new day. And in this new day, she doesn't exist anymore. None of them do. The men in the warehouse, the broker who arranged the hit, the coworker who unlocked the door. I erased every single one of them from the face of the earth. I made sure there's no one left to come after you. The city is 3 bodies lighter this morning, and I don't regret a single second of it. You're safe now. I've got you. You're my entire world, and I'll do whatever it takes to protect it. and I'm never letting you go.